All right, good morning, everybody. It's time to get rolling. All right, it's Monday. Oh, man. And we're already having some problems this morning. My Kali machine decided to just take a dump. So we're trying to see if we can get this guy to reboot and be cool. Worst case, I have to end up rebooting my entire Windows machine, which I really don't want to do because then I'll have to drop my stream for a second. But let's see if we can get this guy to quit being crazy this morning. I'm not sure why. It keeps doing this where it just keeps crashing. So let's see here. I don't think I can kill workstation. Okay, shut down all VMs. And we'll see if we can get this going. We're gonna exit that. We're gonna exit a few things on my desktop here. Really don't want to have to reboot, but VMware Workstation is one of those things that really runs at a really low level on your Windows machine, and it really doesn't want to die. So I might be able to Control-Alt-Delete it and be able to get rid of it that way. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can find the process and kill it. Name VMware Workstation. Let's see if we can just kill it this way. Kill it. Let's see if we can get it to restart that way. It's still here. VMware authorization service. Really don't want to have to reboot. Let's try it one more time and see if we can just get it to work. Okay, so alright, it's powered off right now. Let's see if we can power it on. This is normal so far. Now, it does sometimes crash on this like first boot, and I don't know why. That's normal. And then it always restarts after it's done. So let's give it another second. Yep, this is what it normally does. And then for some reason it kind of craps out. Oh, is it going to start? Nope, there it goes. So it craps out right there. And then usually all I have to do is from here just do a reboot and everything's fine. Restart guest. And then it normally starts up fine. Good morning though otherwise. We'll get this guy up and running and we'll start working on our stuff. I guess while I'm trying to let you better boot up. Looks like we might be fine now. Okay. Now, come on, boot. There we go. That's much better. We got a mouse. There we go. Now we're good. Okay. We're good now. All right. So let's get logged in here. And we'll get everything started up like we've had before. And we'll see if we can get a good hour of work in this morning on our little project. Oh, is it actually going to give us our... It gave us this back. We don't need this, but it gave it back. That should be down. Good. All right, so let's open up our terminal here. First things first, we need to get our OpenVPN. Don't I have a... I feel like I have a... I thought I had a alias to run. I guess not. Let's try that. Oof, I'm worried. I don't remember if that's the right one or not. Remember we were having issues with that. Let's test that immediately before we move on. So we're going to go over here and we're going to try to ping, new tab. I'm going to try to ping this guy. Ping 10.10.231.201. Okay, we're pinging. We're good. Okay, so that's good. Next new tab. We need cursor. Change directory. I guess this would be a good time while we're dead right now in the water and kind of getting fired up to get the cursor set up where it needs to be. Downloads. So let's see here. Yeah, cursor's right there, and that's not really where we want it. So we want to sudo change directory opt. Actually, I think I can just change directory to opt without that. Okay, so ll. Okay, we're going to make, I think in here, though, I have to use sudo. Sudo make dir cursor. And then we're going to sudo chown r Knox cursor. Check that out. Looks good. We're going to copy from downloads cursor app image to here. Oh, oops. I didn't want it here. I wanted it in cursor. It didn't work anyway. Okay, let's change directory into opt. Now we'll do that copy command. Now, why? What? Huh. Oh, change directory cursor. Okay, why didn't it change directory before? Now it's copying. Okay, now ll. Okay, now we can run it from here, and that just makes more sense that it's here in the opt directory. Probably need to update it at some point. I don't like installing it this way from a file, but it's all right. So that's up. So we've got our editor going. So we'll be able to edit. Let's go ahead and delete this Spice Hut folder. Oh, I don't want to do it from there though. Remember, it dies every time we do it from there. So let's open another new tab. Let's change directory to repos, Knox ethical hacking. Change directory into oh, that's right. Change directory into Ktron here. Ktron. We need to start the. We'll go ahead and start the Python 3 run.py. That'll get our. What? Oh, I don't have the virtual env. Okay, so source. There we go. I got to get the virtual environment running. Now the virtual environment is running. Now I can run our. There, I got our API server going. I go back over to Firefox, and now if we refresh, Ktron is back up. So now we have our API server is up. Our cursor is up. We can ping the target. Which means we're connected by the VPN. Now we need one more tab. And now this is the tab we can work out of. So let's change directory to repos Ktron. And we're going to change directory to CLI because that's where we need to be. And there's ktron.py. Okay, so, wow. That took just a second to get rolling this morning, but that's okay. It happens occasionally. No, we're not going to update cursor right now. Okay, so where we were at last time was, let's open up over here. I've got the diagram open. So when we ended on Friday, what we had was we were ready to start taking our nmap commands and our output from our nmap command and parse them and put them into our TinyDB, our nmap results. And actually, so it needs to go into TinyDB and infodict, which is that's infodict is like the JSON dictionary that we're keeping that kind of keeps track of what results we have found so far in our scan. So that's where we're at this morning. So we're going to get started with that. So I think we need to go over to tools to do that. This should be dead. This should be dead. We don't need this. Trying to close some of these up. So we only have the things. We should just need these 3 files right here, which is good. And that means I can take this back down, get ourselves a decent amount of real estate here to be able to work. Okay. By the way, welcome to those of you that are here. and watching. Good to have you. Feel free to comment, ask questions as I'm going along here. Got a little coffee in me now. Should be all right. All right, so let's take this nice and slow. So right now we run an in-map scan, and the in-map scan is generic on purpose. So if you haven't been watching, the way we do this is the in-map scan takes in the information dictionary, InfoDict, and that has in it the target and the IP address and things like that that are important. And then we have scan type. And up here, I only have two. I've got a little, right here we've got this. Now eventually we might move this into a config.py kind of thing where we can put it off to the side. But for now, we'll leave it here. And so we have defined what a quick scan for Nmap is, and that's top 1,000 ports. And then we've defined what a detailed scan is, and it's what I like to call the IPsec style Nmap scan, which is the default services and versions. And we still only do the top 1,000 ports. Going to make it a little shorter. And then, but it's generic so that we can run either one. So we run the scan, we validate the scan type, we prepare the output directory. Should use existing results. That's because we don't want it to keep running if it's already run before. Prepare the nmap command. And here's what we probably want right here. Process nmap output. Okay, so this is what we want. Now in the past, this hasn't had its own endpoint on the routes, but we're going to have to give it its own endpoint. So it's going to... We're going to give it the output prefix, okay? That will, which basically just means that that's going to give it the directory that it saved all the results in and what it made it. So we actually, I guess, need to save that first into the info dictionary. So where would that be at? So here's the scans. Don't need that. We can actually, you know, we can close up those imports too. Run the scan. In here somewhere, we're definitely making that output prefix. Here it is, output prefix. Okay. So try run tool in Terminator. Okay, so that's where it's going to do that, and there's where the output prefix is. So at this point, this command ends. Like at this point, it's done. It just stops. Okay. Where are we running this at though? I want to check just for my own curiosity. Been too long. It is in here. Where's it at? Run nmap scan, validate nmap scan type. Okay. All right, so that's fine. But that just means that right here, right before we run this in Terminator, we need to add the output prefix to the info dictionary. So that, I don't even, and at this point, I don't even remember what the info dictionary looks like, which is terrible. Terrible. So let's run it and let it fail, and then that'll create the little database which has the info dictionary in it, and then that'll make it easy for us to be able to update the info dictionary. So we need to update the info dictionary, and then we also need to update the database. So we're going to have to do like a database update function, which is good because once we have that, then we can start using it frequently. Frequently is the word I'm going to use. So let's just go over here and run it. We're going to fail, but we're going to run it anyway. So we're going to do Python 3 Kaytron. Oh, it's not giving me a... Because I run Kaytron like this. That's why. Right? Oh, man. Okay. It's not remembering how I ran that. That's really strange to me. Oh, because you know the other thing, I'm not in my VNV. I'm not in the VENV in here. So that means we need to source / VENV bin activate. There we go. Now we're going to run Kaytron. I think I've got a... I don't have... Oh, Kaytron. Do I have a shebang at the top of this? I do. If you have... Here's a little fun tip. If you have a shebang at the front, shebang, it's a crunch bang, user bin environment Python 3, then you can take your file and you can give it the executable command, and then you can just run /Ktron instead of having to actually run it as like Python 3 blah blah blah. In fact, we could probably just rename it Ktron and get rid of the .py, but I like the .py because my editor needs it to know that it's a Python file. But if we got rid of once we were done, we could get rid of the .py and it would look more like just a regular command. Anyway, what happens if we just run this? It should come back and say, there we go, good. It says usage, got the host and the IP name and force. The following arguments are required, IP and host name. Okay, good. So at least we've got that. That part's working. IP, it's down here. Let's switch back to that other window so we can see it. So it's 10.10.231.201. Okay, and the host name is Spicy or Spice Hut, like that. And we don't need force yet because we're running this for the first time. So let's run it now. All right, here we go. Oh, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I like that? Oh, it's not host, it's name. Sorry. So nmap started. We fixed this on Friday. The nmap start. Oh, it should add nmap results to DB. Oh, okay. So that is where does that run at? That is at basic recon. Okay, so that's here at line 180 on Ktron. Okay, so let's go check that out. Start fixing this thing. 180. Okay, add nmap results to DB. Okay, we don't want that yet. It's actually a function. Where's that function at? Let's just copy this and find it instead of searching or instead of stumbling in the dark. So we'll copy that, or at least highlight it and hit Control F. If you didn't know that, if you highlight it and hit Control F, it'll automatically pop up in here. Oh, we have not made this yet. So we must have been thinking about making that, but we didn't actually make it. So we've got display. We have display nmap results, but we don't have add nmap results to DB. So let's go ahead. We don't really need that. I don't want that here. I want that to happen automatically when it runs. So yeah. So this guy's already, all right, just to fill you in, this guy is already running a little, so we have here perform nmap quick scan, and then we have while basic recon checklist nmap scan equals false, sleep, okay? So what we're doing here is we are checking. I have a check over in the API server to check if the nmap is completed or not. And if it is completed, then it goes on. But I have it kind of sit here and loop and wait until the nmap scan is finished. So theoretically, that means we should over here run this one should run the add nmap results to DB. So update. I'm just going to put update nmap results. It's going to do both. It's going to do the info dict, scan type, output prefix. Yeah, let's do that. And then we got to create that function right here. There we go. And luckily, open ports error equals process nmap output. If open ports update DB with nmap results, which we don't have an update. That's not a real function. But that's okay. Oh, why did you do that? What did it do? I wanted it to go ahead and do that. So open ports error process in map output. So do we already have that? Have I already written that and I don't even remember it? We don't have anything called process in map output over here. That's so funny. The Copilot is smoking some good ganja because it does not understand what is happening right now. We do not. The only thing we have in our little API server is perform the in-map scan, get the in-map results, perform the GoBuster scan, and check completed. So, where's the get in-map results here? Try request, get JSON, get in-map results. Okay, that's old. We really don't need that anymore. We really should change this too, but we're not going to worry about it right now. We have perform in-map scan and we have perform GoBuster scan. We'll leave those as their own things. I guess they're okay as their own things. Okay, so parse in-map results. Do I really want that to be an API function though? Let's think about that for a second. I mean, I guess we could. When we do that, perform, where's it at? Get in-map results. We have to give it. Part of the JSON would be making sure that it has, if not infodict or not scan type. Okay, so it just wants the infodict and the scan type to be able to do it. Okay. I think the big thing I want is just, I want this thing to be able to, so let's see, open ports error, process in-map output prefix. Okay. So the very first thing I wanted to do is to check if the output file exists. Let me do a comment here because this will help the Copilot to know what I'm going for here. Check if the results already exist, or not results exist. Check if the output files exist. Okay, where do I make the JSON? That's the one I want to process in map output. This is what I make the JSON with, right? Because I have a utility function here that maps in-map XML to JSON. Where am I running that at? Because that's really important. Okay, so let's see where this runs at. Control F. I am running that inside the process in-map output. Okay. So process in-map output grabs the XML, which is good. Makes JSON data out of the XML, which is good. In-map dict equals JSON loads the data. Extract the relevant information. So I've already done a lot of this. I need to not overwork myself. I've already done a lot of this. Open ports is instance. Else if instance. Okay, so this is, I'm already getting this. So I do just need to run the process. The first thing I need to just do is run process in-map results. I need to make process in-map results a, so I don't want this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's go ahead and make an endpoint for process in-map results. The only thing it takes is the output prefix. I don't know if we have the output prefix in. That's what we probably have to do. Because Kaytron is not going to have that. This guy doesn't have the output prefix. So that's the one thing we do need to do, is we do need to write the output prefix into the infodict. Okay, so let's go back to our actual little database file, which is up here in Spice Hut. There's a TinyDB. Remember, if you right click and hit format document in Cursor or VS Code, it will format it for you. And damn it, it's doing this double thing again. It's not supposed to do this. I worked on this before to make sure it wouldn't do these double entries. If an entry already existed, it's not supposed to do this. So let's see what happens if I really don't like that. I want to fix it like right now because it makes me angry because it's not supposed to be doing this double input thing. Where is that coming from? Let's run it again and see if we get this double, if we get like a third one. So we're going to run that. And, oh, now we're not getting a connection. What? Failed to connect in map scan. Okay, so that probably means that we killed our SQLite can't open. Unable to open the database file because I have it open. Probably. Maybe that's the problem. It probably doesn't like the fact that I have the file open already. And the API server died, which is always a big deal. Cancel. Okay. Now it's running. Now it's fine. Going to kick off the mmap scan. Why isn't the window opening? Oh, because it already ran and I didn't put force. It worked like it's supposed to. Normally, if I have the force on here, then it'll rerun the scan like this. And now it'll rerun it. But if I don't put force on there, it recognizes that the files already exist and it doesn't run it. Okay. So there's that. Why did it... I don't know why it ran ahead, though, before it was done. Because it was... Oh, because it's trying to see if it's done based on whether the files exist or not, I think. No, it's doing it based on PID. So I don't know why it just ran ahead right there. It's supposed to wait. Fun times, I tell ya. Fun times. Okay, let's go see what that database looks like now if we actually like have 3 entries or not now. Format document? No, we only have 2. Man, I don't know what I did to make it have we're going to just delete this again because I want to see. And I did it again where I tried to delete inside of it is not a good idea to delete inside notes. Is notes its own thing? Yes. Okay, there we go. Now it's gone. Okay, so now we're going to run this again. Window opens, nmap runs. It fails, which it's supposed to do. Don't know why it's feels like it's not working correctly. It's supposed to like wait for nmap to finish. Unless it is finishing and that window just doesn't close for a hot sec, which maybe that's what it is. And if that's the case, that's fine. Okay, so now let's format the document. Okay, and now, so here we go. Working dir, host name, IP, force true, recon date, tools. So now we need to add in here, what did we say the name of that was? It was in the validate scan. It's right here. Okay. So right here, we need to put in info dict. We don't want, no, we just want info dict, and we're just going to call this output output prefix equals output prefix. There we go. So now we have the output prefix saved in the info dict. And that means that when we process in-map output right here, we're going to be able to have it because we'll already have it in the info dict. Okay, so there it is. I guess we have to, no, we're not keeping track of that. See, that's why we have to write it to the database, because we're not passing info dict back and forth. So really it does not help to write it into the info dict here. It needs to be written in the database, because the database is where these things are going to be kept. So update. So I don't even need to put it in there because that's not going to do any good, because it's gone, because the info dict is gone the second this function finishes. It's just a copy of the dictionary that we've passed over from the other command. So we do need to, okay, update tiny db, not within map scan, with output prefix. There we go. Now we don't really need to pass all that other stuff in, but I guess we can. No, we just need the output prefix. That's really all we care about. Oh, I know. Let's do it that way. Okay, that makes sense. Let's do this. Let's info. Let me do this. Sorry, my brain is going in a bunch of different directions here. Sorry. So we're going to update the info dict with output prefix. There it is. Okay. And now we'll just update the DB with info dict. And that's easy because now we can make a function that updates the DB. Actually, it just needs to be update DB. Update DB, because we don't have an update DB over here. And we'll just always update it with info dict. Because I'm pretty sure I pass that in on every command I do. Here's my utility functions. Define update. Okay. Do I not have? Do I have tinydb in here in my imports? Import tinydb. Okay. Down here, we're gonna say db equals, and we've got it. We've got it in the info dict. So it's already in here. Let's go to spicy or spice. Oh, have I not run it again since I need to run it? I guess. I don't see it. I guess I haven't run it. Did I kill it again? Yep. It's dead. Okay. How is routes dead? Run.py app tools import tools.py line 238 killed my I didn't think they could kill my API server, but okay. For now then, let's just hit pass right here. Pass. Okay. That'll get it clean enough that we can actually run our code. So run. There we go. Here. Run. Keytron. Object has no attribute quick scan info. Okay. It's all right. We're gonna fix that. We just need it to. We needed it to create this so I can see this. Format. And what we're looking for here is. Oh, do I not have it? Oh, it is. It's in the working dir. So I guess we need to. We actually need to save that. I can't. I didn't realize I wasn't saving that in here. So we need to go all the way back over here, where we create the info dict. Somewhere we're creating the database over here in Keytron. Display banner, parse arguments, set data, initialize database. Okay. Hostname self.tinydb equals db path. Okay, so right here we need to put in self.infodict. What? No, self.infodict. db path equals db path. There we go. So now, now if we go back here and we delete that and we run this, none type object does not support item assignment. What? Have I not actually made the info dict at that point? All right, well then let's do this. That's easy enough to fix. We can do self.db equals, we need to make this a self.db path. We can do that. And then we have to change these to self.db path and self.db path. Okay, so that's fine. I don't know why that jumped out there. Okay, that's good. Then when we do this, now we can do db path equals self.db path. Okay, so now we can just do it like that, and that'll work, I think. All right, so let's go back here. Let's delete it again. Let's run it again. Don't know why it keeps having errors here when it tries to run. It does say it finished it though, so I don't really care. I don't know why it's getting so angry. But the point is that we've got our this guy should be updated now, and we can format it, and there it is. Now we have the DB path. That's what we needed. We needed that DB path, but we've got it now. So now we can go to tools, and now we can db equals infodict db path. Okay, so now let's go back over here though. I still don't like, look at how it does this. See how it has like this default right here and like 1. I really just want it to like, I don't know if that's the way it has to be with TinyDB. I've never used TinyDB until this project. Let's talk to our AI friends and see if they can shed some light on why it's doing that. So there's our initial info for a dictionary. Where are we updating the DB at? So let's DB. These are all the ones about. Let's go to the top. Okay, so this is just all of our imports. Here's all of the, oh, this is the initialized database. Okay, so initialized database, but we're not actually inserting anything into it yet. We're only initializing it here. Okay. Oh, that's that. Okay. find existing entry, db-get hostname. Okay, if the entry exists. Okay, so here's where we're doing it at. So we're actually doing it. We're actually updating the database initially in the same function that we're doing it here. Hello. We're actually doing it here, so that's fine. I can't copy this over there because I've got. But we can do a real quick screenshot here. Okay, so let's do this. And let's go over to, let's give Claude a shot at this morning. Claude. Hey. I am working on some Python with TinyDB. Here is the function I am using. Paste it in. Oh, it's a picture, but the function I am using is in one of the images. I also have included an image of what the data I have included an image of what the data looks like after the function has run. Let me do that before I forget. That is here. And we want to click on the Windows desktop first. Using the Windows screenshot function, of course, so I can paste easily into Claude from my VM. Paste that in. Okay. So I don't understand why it has underscore default and 1 before the entry. That's the first thing I'll ask it. Okay, let's see what it says. The structure you're seeing in the second image with default and 1 is due to how TinyDB stores data internally. The default is the default table name. Oh. If you don't specify a table name, it uses the default table. The 1 is likely a document ID assigned by TinyDB to your entry. TinyDB automatically assigns an ID. Okay. The reason you're seeing this structure is because you're likely viewing the raw contents of the TinyDB JSON file. When you see TinyDB's methods to query and receive data, you typically don't interact with the structure directly. Your init info-dict function is correctly inserting and updating data. The resulting structure is TinyDB's way of organizing that data. If you want to retrieve the data without this structure, you would typically use TinyDB's query methods, for example. This method would give you the data without the default. How do we modify the function to name the table? What do we want to name it? Target information. So let's see how to do this. We're learning about TinyDB. Let me make this window a little bigger. Let's read what it's saying here. To modify the function to use a specific table name, like target information, you need to make a few changes to your code. Here's how you can do it. Okay. Target table equals target information. Okay. Try to find an existing entry. Update the existing. If existing entry, update existing entry. Target table, update self dot. Existing entry doc ID. Insert new entry if none data exists. Okay. It seems fairly self-explanatory, and yes, that would look a lot better. I would prefer it to look like this. Target information. I don't care that it has that ID. That's fine. Working dir, host name, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's much better. Let's copy this. How do we get it over there? I gotta open. I wasn't gonna open cursor on this side of the world, and when I say that, I mean on this side on my Windows machine. But we'll do it real quick here. Where's my cursor button on the bottom here? Oh, it's right there. Duh. And I do already have it open. It's right here. Gotta reload the window though. Okay, so that is in Kaytron. It's a little smaller than what we've been looking at. I apologize. And then I'll make this over here. And that was the init infodict function. So we're going to copy this function and paste. And that gets us our new, we didn't break anything, right? No, it looks good. Okay, DB path, target name, nothing's red here. Good, 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 good. All right, so let's minimize this. And let's go over here. And now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna delete the folder again. We're gonna rerun. And yes, load working dir from env. What? Kaytron has no attribute load working dir from env. Where's that at? On line 24. What did we mess up? Line 24. Self.load working dir from env. Where did that go? We absolutely do have that, and it's right here. So why did it say it said we didn't have it? Error. Object has no attribute load working dir from env. Are we telling it to do it before? Sometimes if you have the function before another function calls it, it'll get angry. I mean, before that function appears in the list of things, it'll get angry. But we didn't change any of that, so I don't know why it's right here. It's all the way up here. That's been working fine. Why did that suddenly decide not to work? That is really strange. Oh, I see what happened. When we pasted this in, yeah, when we pasted this in, we pasted this outside the class, like a moron. So let me Control Z back to that. So I see what happened. This is why it's really, you gotta be really careful when you paste crap in. All right, so let's Control Z. Control Z. Oh, am I far enough? Okay, so this is good. Okay, so now we're gonna paste it back in. All right, so when I pasted this in, what had happened was, oh, what? I gotta go over here and copy it again. I gotta go over here. Okay. So what happened was it's not indented far enough. So we've got to go to Claude, copy. This is why the AI cannot take our jobs immediately. Or why you still have to know how to code to use AI to code, because that was a dumb thing, but if you don't know immediately like how to see, watch, I'm going to do this and see it's indented one too far in. So I need to take the whole thing and kick it out, and now it'll work because now it's part of the class. See, it has to be indented. This two has to be indented in to be part of the class that it's in, and that's why it suddenly started making a weird error that I'd never seen before. So let's go over here. Let's delete again. Slow going this morning, guys. I apologize, but we are making progress, very slowly. Wow, why are we still like? I just keep breaking that API server. There we go. All right. Do I not have the force on? I do. We'll have to fix that later, but at least we're getting somewhere with this DB thing this morning, which is actually really important because we needed to get it going. I've been putting it off too long. Format document. There's our DB path. Excellent. Target information. Nice. Still has the default table, but that's fine. That's probably something that TinyDB just needs on its own. Hello, Choo Choo. What up? Before it gets any later, we're getting near the end of the stream here. I'm going to like my own stream. I always like my own stream. It's really cheesy, but I like to like my own stream. So there we go. I just clicked like on my own stream. Oh, a couple other people liked my stream this morning too. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes. So we've got this. Now we're going to go to, I guess we're back to tools again, right? Because we've got the DB path now. Can we crack SHA-256 into its original value password? Not yet. That's not where I'm at yet. And I would. All right. So let's look here. So we're gonna update. Okay, so DB equals TinyDB infodict path, and now we're going to. So now do we need to, we update it with what though? So we ran the stuff. So we need to process the nmap output, and it will return scan results. Okay. So now we're gonna run process. I know, Choo Choo. I appreciate you coming and visiting. It's good to have you. Now we're going to process nmap output. Copy. It returns open ports and none, but we're going to process nmap output. DB table. That's not how it works exactly. Oh, why is it? No, I don't know why it's trying to do that. That's not how I want to do it. Process nmap output. I don't think I need the DB. I think I just need the infodict, right? Process nmap output. It only needs an output prefix. So that's infodict output prefix, like that. We do need to save it as something though, and I think it comes back as open ports and none. So open ports. Yeah, I don't need the other. Update DB with nmap results. Oh, I've already got that? I do already have that. Nice. Well, let's see what it does. I don't remember writing all that, but I guess I did. And then that means now we just need a... Oh yeah, that's not really what we're doing though right now. Update DB. Okay. Oh, that's right. All we need to do here, we don't need to do that other thing I was doing. What we need to do is we need to update. So tinydb is infodict db path. So we need to update the DB with the update DB infodict with what was the name of it? It was the output prefix. Query hostname equals infodict hostname. Infodict query hostname. Infodict hostname. So theoretically that should work. Let's see if it does. Feels sloppy, but I'm okay with sloppy. It just feels sloppy. Let's delete that. Let's run this. Is that thing dead again? I gotta quit killing that thing. Man, it is really upset with me right now. Okay, so it did the scan. Why is it struggling so hard to do the scan? Did I let the... Did I possibly let the host die and that's the problem? No, it expires in 52 minutes according to this. Unless it's wrong. Sometimes you have to refresh this page and you'll find out it actually is like, yeah, see, I can like add another hour to it if I want to. It's fine. I don't know why it's freaking out. 231, 201. Okay. It's right here. Let's go up here to our output. Format document so we can read it. It did not put the output prefix on here yet. So I don't know why it's not doing that. Maybe this isn't actually getting triggered because of that error. But it's supposed to run this right before it runs the nmap scan. Did we mess up the input scan somehow? Is that why it's being silly? Let's go. We haven't actually read the tool name nmap. Completed false. Perform nmap scan. 500. Why? We must have messed up perform nmap scan somehow. Run nmap scan. It's because it's trying to update DB with nmap results. That's the problem. That's not real. That's why. It's supposed to just be this. There we go. Update output prefix. Okay. Let's go down here. Yeah, we can't do this yet. Right now we just want to run this. This is real, but we're not ready to run that. We're going to run this first. Okay, maybe now it'll work. Wrong. Okay, so we need to run. Okay, that's good. That's deleted. Running that. Oh, why are we still getting a 500? Roar! Because I think because of that, we're not getting what we want out of here. Yeah, it's not getting to it. What did I do wrong in here? Update. Oh, there's the update DB. Infodict. Okay, so I didn't need this at all. It takes in the infodict. And then down here, yeah. That's what the problem was. And we didn't even kill our server this time. Okay, so now let's delete this. Now let's run this. Now we get no 500. Now we get a Terminator window. Yes, things are falling into place. Okay. So now, maybe we got this to be correct now. Format document. I still don't see it. We have the DB path, but we don't have the... It's still not putting that update infodict query hostname. Okay, so... Oh, because we're not actually... yeah, we are. I thought we did that up here. Yeah, infodict output prefix update infodict. So we're adding that in right here. But this is not actually, either this is not running or it's not actually update infodict query hostname infodict. That may be why. It's probably because it can't do it like that. Okay. Control K. Copy. Here is what the DB looks like before we run this function. We need to update it. Let's put replace this entry with infodict. Let's see what it says, if this helps it, if it understands what we're trying to say here, and we'll see if we can get it to do it. Okay, so what did it change? Let's look at what it changed so we can learn from it. Target table equals target information. Okay, that's good. Replace existing entry. Upsert infodict query hostname infodict hostname. We're not updating hostname though. Follow-up instructions, Control Shift K. I haven't tried this before. What? Oh, okay. We need to update Oh, I'm reading it wrong. Okay. So let's read this last line again, and I'll explain here. So the target table, we're upserting infodict, okay? The query is hostname if equals infodict hostname. So it's just if it finds an entry with the same hostname, it'll do it. I think is what it's saying. So that's fine. That's what we want. So now let's go back. And then I'm going to have to get going this morning. And let's check the API server. It is still running. Let's go here. Let's kill. run, we got it, in-map scan, and yes, we know that doesn't exist. Now we're going to go here. Now we're going to format this document. And there it is. Okay, so we got it. All right, so we finally got our output prefix. Now that we have our output prefix, we probably can hand that straight to... Now we can go to... when we come back on Wednesday, now for parsing the results, we can just run... We'll have to add another route to get the results, and we'll be able to call that. And then what we're going to call is this process. What was I think it's this process in-map output is perfect. We'll just call this. We'll just call it as a route over here. It only takes in an output prefix. It'll be able to get everything back, and then we'll also be able to update the DB with this information as well. And since we're just, I may add this to where it passes the info dict back in, but I feel like we're going to have to start relying on the database, because the database is now going to have to become the source of truth between these two between these things. So it's going to be the source of truth between the files. That's the only way we're going to be able to keep the information straight, because we can't keep passing info dict back and forth. It's just not a good... It'll get really complicated fast, and this thing's already complicated far too much as it is. All right, so thanks everybody for hanging with me. Remember, if you didn't like the stream yet, go ahead and like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'd love to be up to 150 subscribers by the end of the week. I know that sounds silly, but it'd be kind of fun to get there. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you all back here Wednesday morning. See you later.